Thank you, Chuck. Republicans have a little arithmetic problem. When you add up the cuts they want to make, they're so extreme that they don't want to show them to you. So they use non-arithmetic terms like 2022 levels. This is why they won't disclose their cuts, not here and not in their extremist debt limit threats. They apparently haven't even been able to get agreement among Republicans. It's so MAGA extreme. If Republicans do as many promise and protect defense spending, again a non-arithmetic term, the cuts elsewhere could surge as high as 30%. So they won't tell you that. The arithmetic is devastating for them. So we did a little bit of it for all of you. Cuts like $472 million from LIHEAP, which Rhode Islanders know is a horrible idea. Cuts like $582 million from opioid epidemic funding, which is the Democratic author of the Comprehensive Addiction Recovery Act, I know, and all of you know, is a rotten idea. And all of this is supposedly to deal with a national debt that they deliberately made worse with massive revenue losses because they lowered tax rates for their corporate and billionaire friends and donors. They were happy when billion-dollar corporations paid zero federal income taxes and even fought us when we fixed that. We like to say these Republican tax cuts for billionaires weren't paid for in the budget sense. But of course they were paid for, with tens of millions of dollars in political spending for Republicans, much of it just as hidden as the arithmetic Republicans won't share with you today. Thank you.
Ready for questions on this?
They are passing it. The Biden administration is taking action right now to address one of the biggest issues that the United States is currently facing. New details have also been announced for those that have received a relief check from their state. Friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video, because I will be giving you all of the details. Also, at the end of this video, I will be announcing the 2 winners from yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway. But if you'd like to enter next Friday's giveaway, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then leave a comment on, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. During the crisis, there have been a number of financial relief programs designed to support Americans through a tumultuous time for the U.S. economy. The 3 rounds of federal stimulus checks were the most well-known of these efforts, but there were countless other examples throughout the crisis. Under the National Health Emergency Declaration, most recipients will not be taxed on the payments that they had received. But there are still some major differences between 2 popular forms of tax-exempt support: disaster distribution and stimulus checks. Stimulus checks were distributed by the federal government during the first 2 years of the crisis. They were designed to offer short-term financial relief for millions of Americans who were suffering the economic consequences. The term stimulus check has also been applied to the various state-led initiatives that was introduced in 2022 to help residents who were dealing with sustained high inflation. More than 25 U.S. states distributed these types of payments last year, most notably California's middle-class tax refund. The raft of relief programs initiated by states in 2022 was unlike anything seen before, and it posed a new question for the Internal Revenue Service. Should these state-funded payments be subject to federal taxation? The tax agency was slow to offer guidance, and filers began the 2023 tax season without a firm answer on whether the relief payments counted as taxable income. At the start of February, the IRS advised that recipients hold off on submitting their taxes until a verdict was finally reached. The IRS released a statement confirming that the special payments made by 25 states in 2022 do not need to be reported as taxable income on their 2022 tax returns. The IRS statement read, "During a review, the IRS determined it will not challenge the taxability of payments related to general welfare and disaster relief. In addition, many taxpayers in the state of Georgia, Massachusetts, South Carolina, and Virginia also avoid federal taxes on state payments if they meet certain requirements." The state of Maine was another example of U.S. states where the IRS stance had created confusion. More than 100,000 tax returns had already been filed as of when the IRS made the announcement. But the IRS also noted that with the national health emergency ending in May, the ruling only applied to payments that were made in 2022. That means if states decide to issue additional stimulus checks, they could be subjected to federal taxes next tax season. The Biden administration has also proposed new rules that will require patients to have an in-person medical evaluation before being prescribed most prescription medications by their physicians, with limited exceptions. So according to an official statement, under the new proposals, patients would still be able to get less addictive medications, such as antibiotics, which are prescribed to them by their doctors via telehealth. Prescriptions to help with sleep or pain could be prescribed via telehealth, but a patient would need an in-person evaluation before obtaining a refill. Schedule II medications. It is a classification reserved for the strongest prescriptions, necessitate an in-person appointment before any prescription can be written. But when the crisis began, federal regulators relaxed previous rules mandating that doctors evaluate patients in person before prescribing any controlled substances, allowing telehealth appointments to be used by patients to obtain needed prescriptions. With the federal public health emergency set to end this coming May, this proposal would establish a permanent regulatory framework for doctors who prescribe medications via telehealth to their patients. Administrator Ann Milgram said in a release that her agency is committed to the expansion of telemedicine with guardrails that prevent the online overprescribing of controlled medications that can cause physical harm. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra has also acknowledged the difficulty that rural Americans face in accessing health care. He stated, "We still have millions of Americans, especially those living in rural communities, who face difficulties accessing a healthcare provider in person. We are committed to working with our federal partners to advance proven technologies and life-saving care for the benefit of all Americans." So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on all of these new changes? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Well, my beautiful and most dearest friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Saturday morning. Thank you so very, very much, friends, for being here and for being part of this community. The two winners of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway is Patrick Tyson and Charlie Mitchell Jr. Congratulations, my dear friends. To claim your gift card, please check your notifications page and send me a message. Or you can also message me on my Facebook page. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.